My name is Luke Wilson and this is my contribution to the International Jugglers Association video tutorial contest. I'm going to be showing you a trick which is quite a favourite of mine. I've been performing it for some years and it is the 3-club kickup, or the 3-club multiplex kickup to give it its full name. This is a trick which has been around for a very long time. The first time I saw it performed was as a crossfoot kickup by Manuel Alvarez, who is a great Spanish juggler who performs an act consisting entirely more or less of kickups. So I've been performing the 3-club kickup in many routines, like pretty much since I started putting together club juggling routines. I've always used the 3-club kickup because I love it very much and it's a very effective trick. For a long time it scared me very much because I did not think I could get it consistent, and it's always, even now, it's the first thing I do whenever I do my warm-up. It's a 3-club kickup. It's usually the final thing in my 3-club act, which means there's quite a bit of pressure put on it, so I overtrain it a lot, and now I'm feeling quite confident with it after 15 years. This tutorial is concentrating on the 3-club kickup, so we're assuming that you have a solid single club kickup already. That means you should be able to do a standard 1-club kickup without many issues. There's just one small thing I do want to clarify, and that is the idea of being able to hold the club and to lift it off the floor and into the air. The purpose of this is to get more control over the club, which is going to help us a lot once we start adding the 2nd and the 3rd club. As in the 3-club multiplex start from the hand, which consists of a 2-club multiplex with a 3rd club being added in, we're first going to look at the 2-club multiplex as thrown from the foot. When starting from the hand, there are 2 usual grips, the European grip or the circus grip, and either of these can be used for a multiplex. The important thing with a multiplex from the hand is to be sure that the clubs are parallel to one another and parallel to the floor. This means that when you throw them, they're not going to be sliding off each other, they're going to come up nice and smooth and not interfere with each other. This is exactly the same principle for the 2-club kickup. With clubs in European position on the foot, we have a lot more control of the top club, and that's the one that we really want to visualize as we perform the kickup. This will be exactly the same when we move on to 3 clubs. Once again, the ability to lift the clubs is very important because we can then understand the control. This allows us to see exactly how the small movements of our foot allow us to grip the clubs. An important aspect of the multiplex kickups is that we want to turn our body towards the clubs before we make the kickup. This is to stop us from having to catch them out at the side of our bodies. The underlying concept of the 3-club multiplex start from the hand is that the 2 clubs which begin in the normal multiplex position make single spins, the 3rd club is placed underneath and further forward and will be the double. We will emulate this on the foot. The major difference now is that we have to start with the bottom club on the feet. The first club I put down is going to be the double spin. That means it has to be slightly further forward on my foot. I then place the 2nd and 3rd clubs on top in the normal 2-club kick-up position. Notice again that it is the top club which is the most important one for my control, and I'm going to twist my hips slightly again to keep the clubs flat and parallel to the ground. When you go for the kick-up, the important thing is to concentrate once again on the top club. Just think about this club being a nice normal single spin. When the clubs leave your foot, don't panic. Just let the 2 single clubs come up normally and let them come down to your hands. The bottom club, performing a double spin, is going to be high enough for you to relax and spot it on its way down. If you're performing the kick-up with your right foot, you want the double to come to your right hand. So there's 3 fine details with the kick-up, which are the shoes you wear, the kind of trousers you wear, and the kind of clubs you use, okay? And so of course these vary from people to people, and that means that you're going to have to tweak your technique a little bit depending on your preferences. Shoes though are very important. You definitely want shoes which are thin and flexible, okay? These are thin, that means that I have a good feeling on my foot, I can control the club better. That's not going to be so well with some Doc Marten boots or something. And they're flexible. This means that I can bring the toes up to be in a good position to be holding the club. Okay. Trousers, I like coarse material. Jeans for me are great. This means there's a little bit more grip. Okay, if my clubs are in position here, the coarseness and the looseness of the jeans gives a little bit more control. But again, that's a personal thing. I know people who can only do kick-ups with bare skin or just with socks. And the one other thing, of course, is the clubs. I use Renegade 95mm. This is quite a wide club with a wide handle. And this actually makes multiplex kick-ups quite difficult, simply because if I have them stacked in position, as you can see, this top club, which is the one I should be controlling, is barely on my foot. Okay, so that makes it a little bit harder. If I had thin clubs, skinny clubs like pirouettes or something, they would all be much lower, and this can give you more control. But it really is a personal preference.